The concept of a property is the most widely used in .NET programming. Properties provide getter and setter functions for validation of data before it enters or leaves your object. A property has a specific syntax that needs to be mastered. Consider this program. Let me explain it line by line. First, we have a data member that stores the amount. This member is private, so it is not directly accessible from outside. This member stores the actual data, but it is not accessible from outside the class. After this, we have a property called amount. This property is public. Take note of the syntax. Braces contain the getter and setter functions. The get accessor provides access to the backing member of this property, the amount that we have declared above. We have an opportunity of modifying the data before making it available to the caller. In this code, we have not done that. We have returned the actual value, but you can always modify it, examine it, and decide what to send and how to send it. The set method receives data in the value keyword. The incoming data is therefore contained in the value keyword. Take note of this keyword. The set method makes a validity check. If the validation fails, then it throws an exception. Thus, the setter ensures that invalid data doesn't enter an object. This code can be made better. Notice that it contains a magic figure of 1000. Experts say that such figures should be avoided. They affect the readability of your program. Notice also that there is a magic string called value in the code that throws the exception. This string is the keyword value in double quotes. To make the code better, we can make the following two changes. Firstly, replace 1000 by a constant int. Const int max amount is equal to 1000. And secondly, replace the string by using a name of expression. Name of value. The name of expression gives the name of an identifier as a string constant. With these two changes, the code becomes more systematic, as you can see here. The constant max amount gives a readable meaning to the magic figure of 1000. Another advantage is that if the figure has to be changed in future, then the change needs to be made just at one place and the whole code gets updated wherever this figure is used. If the getter and setter make no validation, then there is no need to specifically add a backing member. In this code, there is no backing member for the amount property. Observe also that we only mentioned the keywords get and set. The compiler generates everything else for us. Notice also that it is possible to mark public, private, etc. accessibility on a setter or getter as per requirements. Let's look at an example which demonstrates various types of properties. The first property is an auto-implemented property that has been initialized at declaration. The second property, item, is a read-only property because no setter has been given. A read-only property can be initialized either at declaration or in a constructor. And after that, we have an init-only property called ISBN. This property can be initialized once only. It can be initialized at any time, such as at declaration, during construction, and even after the object has been created. The only restriction is that it can be initialized at most once. Either you do not initialize it or initialize it only once. If you initialize it the second time, you get an compiler error. And lastly, we have the main function. Properties ISBN and name have been initialized using a special syntax of curly braces that you can take note of. The two properties have been separated by a comma. You can initialize as many properties as you want that are possible that can be initialized at this point. Then all the properties have to be separated by a comma. Try to solve the attached exercises for a hands-on practice on this syntax. Thank you.